Welcome back to Introduction to iOS Application Development at SSFS. In the last project, we looked at tab bar controllers, which created a series of buttons along the bottom of the screen that allows us to easily switch between different views. In this project, we're going to look at another very popular way of displaying data, and that's through the use of table view controllers. And for this project, we're going to implement a very basic journal writing application. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the end product is going to look like. I'm going to run this here. And you can see I have a series of dates, and right now there's just standard um, text in there. But I have the ability to compose a new entry, and I can put this is my journal entry. And when I save it, it adds a new line, and it displays the data. So again, these are in tables. It's a table view controller. If I make this a little bit bigger so you can see that there are lines between each one, so it looks like cells in a table. And if I click on it, I get the information. Let's scale this back down. Let's go ahead and stop this. And let's go ahead and start building this application. I'm going to switch to the beginning application so we can get started. And if you notice, as I expand this, there's no main storyboard. Usually there's a storyboard and a view controller that I can start editing and adding buttons and labels to, but this application doesn't have it. Instead, it has this main Swift file, which its only purpose is to instantiate this UI application main. And if I run this without a storyboard or a view controller, you notice all I get is this blank screen. And before we ran an empty application, we would have a white screen, which was just a blank view controller. So let me go ahead and stop this. And so again, when an app starts with this, in this project, the main.swift file is the entry point. It's the first file that gets called, and it instantiates this UI application main. But if we go ahead and take this out, what's going to happen? So if I try to run this file now, you can see I get two errors, and the build failed. And if I look at the errors, these look like some pretty serious errors. And there's no implicit entry start. So we've got to fix that. So one of the easiest ways to do that is to go into the app delegate file, and we're just going to add an application main attribute to the top of that. So UI application main. Okay, and hopefully the errors are going to go away. Let's go ahead and run it. Well, this is build succeeded, and now the journal runs, and I get the same black screen as before. And again, that's because I don't yet have a storyboard. So probably the first thing we should do is add one of those, and we'll go ahead and do that in the next lesson.